Hello YouTube, I'm Big Boy and this is Rigid Gaming. Today I'm here to talk about a struggling handheld, but I believe will make a comeback. Of course, I'm talking about the Nokia N-Gage. It was discontinued? So what's today's episode about? The Vita. What is that, some kind of Mexican dish? It's a console, a gaming console. A handheld gaming console. Okay. Good to see that Sony has finally entered the handheld gaming market with its PlayStation Vita, its first ever handheld. No? That's not right either? What came before it? The PSP. Damn that Sony. PlayStation Vita is a great handheld. In fact, it is probably one of the most beautiful handhelds and most powerful I've ever held. And yet, it seems to be struggling with not only casual gamers, but hardcore gamers. Here's what I believe Sony will do at this year's E3 to change all that. Number one is a price cut. We all know this is coming, especially after the price cut that happened over in Japan. We saw sales soar up to about 60,000 a week before falling back down to its normal pace. Although that's still after Golden Week decline. And that always happens every year, so it's hard to say if the price cut has officially worked or not. All we know is that it is going to come all around the world after E3. Number two is memory cards. These prices are so ridiculously high, it makes my next door neighbor look sober. 20 bucks for 4 gigs, 30 for 8. 16 for 50 and 32 for 100? No, that is not okay. We as gamers deserve fair pricing on this. I believe at E3, Sony will finally bring out the 64 gig at no less than $100. We see the 32 jump down to about 60. The 16 go 40 if it's not discontinued. And the 8 go down to 25, the 4 to 15. And speaking of 4, I want to see every PlayStation Vita come bundled with a 4 gig memory card. No if, and, or buts. Sony, you need to include it in with the Vita. It's not okay that I just bought a $250 system and I need to go out and spend another 20 bucks just to play it. That is unfair to everyone. At E3, we will see PlayStation 4 Interaction. Don't make the Vita a Wii U tablet. The Vita needs to retain an image of its own. It can be a great enhancement for PlayStation 4 games, but it needs its own soul. It needs exclusives, and those exclusives need to remain exclusives. This is more out to all those of you who want Gravity Rush on the PlayStation 3. No, that will not help the PlayStation 3, and it will damage the Vita more than anything else. Why would a gamer want to buy a Vita for Gravity Rush when he can just play it on his PlayStation 3? Bottom line is exclusives being ported to other consoles undermines the whole point of having exclusives. Number 4, at E3, we need to see games, and not just Sony first-party games. We need to see support from third-party developers. We've been getting teased for weeks now that some big announcement is going to come, and they are system sellers. There better be, because after Tearaway, there is nothing forecast, and that is not okay. We need quality games announced by quality developers. Keyword here, Sony, is quality, not quantity. But right now, you're really giving us neither. Where is our BioShock, our GTA, our Elder Scrolls? What about that Borderlands 2 Gearbox wanted to do for the Vita if you would give them some cash? These games are system sellers. Indie games are great, but they are not system sellers. What people need to see when they buy the Vita is a box next to the Vita that is in its nice glossy case, and it says only on PlayStation Vita. Second, I want to see more new IPs. And not more Monster Hunter IPs. That is a niche audience And if the name's not Monster Hunter, it's not doing well. And give us some more Western titles. They don't have to be a first-person shooter, but just something the rest of the world outside of Japan would like to see. What we will see at E3, we're definitely going to see more Killzone Mercenary and more Tearaway footage. That's great. We know those games are coming. And I have a hunch that added to these games, we're going to see a Gravity Rush 2, another Assassin's Creed, another Call of Duty. And speaking of Call of Duty, if we get another one, give it to a good developer. And give them the deserved amount of time they need to make it. If a shitty Call of Duty game can move thousands of units, imagine how many a good Call of Duty game will move. Number 5, advertising. After E3 soon, I want to see you support the Vita more and give it some advertising. At my college last year, people would ask me, is that a new cell phone? Is that a new Nintendo? No, apparently I have to do your job and advertise for you and tell them it's a PlayStation Vita. That is garbage. If the 18 to 36-year-old demographic is not the one you're looking for, then who is the Vita targeting? Surely not children. Majority of the titles are made up of T for teen and M for mature. Advertising can make a shitty product look like the second coming of Jesus. But you know what? It also works in reverse, as it can make a good product, like the PlayStation Vita, look like a pile of feces just dropped by your neighbor's dog. Or worse yet, when you don't have any advertising, nobody knows you exist. And this is the Vita's problem. You need to work on that, Sony. Anyway, that's it for this episode. I'm Big Boy from Ridge Gaming, and I'm going to go see if I can still find the Game Boy. Sayonara!